What's up, Cheryl? How you doing? Thank you for always being here. Appreciate your incessant support. But I wanted to come live really because I need to say something. Nobody is safe, y'all. Nobody is safe. And what I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna say, and it's not coming at nobody of a certain demographic or nothing like that, right? People have to wake up because a lot of people have an antiquated mindset, right? We kind of saw that yesterday on Pizarro's panel when they had Goosey and all the other people who were up there who were a different age. There is a new age, there's a new day, especially when it's concerning employment. And nobody cares if you've been 25 years, if you've been committed 25 years to a company. Just like they don't care about nobody who's been just graduated out of college 2 years and just starting a job. It don't matter no more. It doesn't. It doesn't. And I had to say this because I was dealing with some people in a professional capacity who are older, who are saying they 20, 30 year. That doesn't matter no more. Detach, what's up, Detach? How you doing? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, especially in corporate America, that does not matter. You usually the ones who are more senior are the ones who make the more money. So when they sit down in their meetings in the boardroom, wherever, and they're looking at cost cutting and all this other stuff, they're looking at you as you being a more expensive expense than they need to retain. And it's sad, but loyalty is not rewarded no more in the motherfucking workplace. Loyalty is no longer, it's a great trait to have, but it's often associated with being the trait of a dummy because that's not what the world operates on right now. The world operates on money, production, performance. And it's sad to say because so many people are hoping to retire out, and the company's like, no, we're replacing y'all with robots if we can. You know, even the young people having a hard time because the robots are taking the entry level jobs. I told you the white collar workers are getting decimated. When Amazon had their layoff, it wasn't the warehouse workers, it was the white collar workers working in the cubicles in the office that got hit because of AI. So it's just like people are living like, oh, I earned my stripes, I earned my this, I earned my that. But the people who are the executives who's scared of being replaced themselves, they're not caring about that. They're looking at you come up on their spreadsheet as a higher expense than somebody else, and they're gonna let you go. Fuck your vacation time, fuck your whatever you think you should be getting entitled to, because that's not how they're looking at that. Back in the day, that was like, oh, you're a 30-year veteran. We're gonna, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna, you got this, you got that. But that's not the way no more. They don't care. Like it's cold out here in these streets. And if you're sitting up there working a 9 to 5, dedicating your time to an employer that you know ain't loyal, which is mostly all of them, unless it's a private sector where you know the owner and all that, you need to diversify your skill set. You need to have multiple hustles. Shit, and if you working for a 9 to 5 for somebody that you know has the potential to cut you, and you not enhancing your hustle on their time, because they definitely trying to get screw you. I think the whole commute game is fucked up. You spending 2 hours to get to work and you're not even compensated for that time. 2 hours back, you only compensated for the time you get. That's crazy, y'all. That's the most screwed up part about the whole situation. All the time you spend working or doing something for somebody, for what? So I just tell y'all need to get multiple hustles, because right now everybody looking to find the cheapest way to get labor. They don't care about whether or not they give you a paycheck. They don't care if you got food in your belly. If all y'all could be replaced by AI, they will fucking do it, right? Because at the top, that means more money for them, more bonuses for them, more yachts for them, more mansions for them, more cars for them, more exquisite dinners for them, more exquisite vacations for them. Y'all got to start looking out for yourselves, and it's becoming more and more apparent because nobody is talking about the fact that when all these people are losing their fucking job, what are we gonna do? We are not robots. We do not run on steel. We have to eat. We have to have certain care. We have to have certain clothes. We have to be able to provide heat for ourselves if we're in the cold. And they're just cutting jobs left, right, front, and center. That's why I tell people get you multiple hustles if you can. Like we in the most advanced age of access to information than ever. Than ever. It's gonna take some willpower. It's gonna take, but look, it's crazy. These companies are cutting. I would just tell you, I would say, oh, go be a police officer. But I don't even know that's safe because once they sit up here and find a way to really produce a RoboCop, they gonna do it. I'm just mystified. But I wanted to come live because I just hear older people talk about, oh, I got 30 years, I got 35 years, I got 20 years. And I'm like, you got 6 weeks of fucking vacation. Okay, I understand you earned that vacation, but it's a hindrance when you gone because your vacation time, yes, okay, that's great, but it's still a whole not filled because you gone. Like I know a lot of corporations, they've been like, no, you get 2 to 3 weeks vacation max. Because you really paying for somebody not to be there, like not to perform. I mean, anyway, each place is different, right? I mean, if you got anyway, but yeah, I just want to tell people who are older that entitled mindset. We talk about the young people being entitled, but the older generation is entitled too. I earned this. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I'm not taking that away from you, but this corporate climate right now, they don't give a fuck. They don't. And you gotta, and I'm not knocking down nobody, but a lot of people don't have a corporate mindset because it is all about selfishness. It's all about cost cutting. It's all about being lean. It's all about that. And if you're sitting here saying, I'm owed this, they give you a 30-year badge or pin or whatever to keep all the other people enslaved. Right? If I celebrate you for being a corporate slave for 30 years and give you $1,000 check, then all the other peons are going to say, ooh, I want to be celebrated. Right? That's not really like, to me, to be at a job for 30 years is a form of stagnation. Like, just corporate America just thinks different. Like, they really feel you should only be in a role for 4 years and you should be jumping from there to there to diversify your skill set. Whatever. Different strokes for different folks. But what I'm saying is, look, what's going to hurt is somebody saying 30 years and they laid me off. I'm gonna be like, what were you doing? Like, you know what's coming. Like, let's prepare. Anybody can get laid off. Oh, girl, vibrant girl, vibrant. Your friend was talking about. Listen, I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but she's like, oh, I love me some Vibrant. Everybody should be a Vibrant. Vibrant, she really not biased. She's not really not biased. She's so unbiased. Vibrant, I was like, ooh. I said, boy, she's still singing your praises. That's a rarity. So congratulations, Vibrant. But yeah, so that's what I just want to share. I mean, the universe put that on my heart to share that. And it's just like, y'all gotta wake up. This is a different day and age. Ain't no loyalty no more. We being sold out for motherfucking robots. You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, I think it's all gonna it's gonna be egg on their face because you're gonna sit up here and have a motherfucking revolution, or rebellion, anarchy on your hands because people are gonna be sitting up here not being able to support themselves because of corporate greed. It is all about corporate greed. Why the fuck you need to be a trillionaire? Tell me why you need to be a trillionaire. Why you need to be a trillionaire? The Lord says that you cannot take material possessions with you into the next realm. So why do you need to be a trillionaire at the expense of others? I just like, I don't know. If I was in there, I would be trying to make people's lives better. And I don't know if Elon Musk is doing that. I don't know. He maybe, a lot of people who got money, they do stuff silently. But I don't never hear about Elon Musk, what he's doing. Like, I hear about the things he's doing, like from a business standpoint, but what is he doing to give back? I don't hear that. And I may be ignorant in that facet. I may be not informed. But what is Elon Musk doing to give back to people his creations are taking away their quality of life? You have no job. I don't care if you make it. I told you that guy was making $200,000 a year, and it was all taken away by AI. And let me just tell y'all, some people this: your job is not your purpose. Your job is not your purpose. Because what happens when your purpose is taken away? Then who are you? If you say, "Oh, I'm a 6 figure nigga and I'm CEO," okay. If I'm the chairman of the board and I take you and have you resign because it's their right, it's the board's right to do what they want to do with their company leadership, and they say they want to move in a different direction, what happens then? Right? Do you crumble? Do you fall? Do you now feel lost? Because that's what happens a lot of times when people lose their job, and their job is their whole lively. They dedicated so much time to a company, now it's taken away. What do they do? Do you no longer have no existence? Because a lot of people gonna find themselves without being, their job is who they are. It's crazy out here. Ron P says, I saw an article where Elon is working on getting resources on the moon and Mars expansion. Yes, but what is he doing for mankind? What is he doing for the betterment of his common man? What are you doing? What are you trying? What are you? I just want to know, what are you doing, Elon? What are you doing to like? Are you contributing? The jobs that you taking away, are you sitting up here helping people supplement their income? What are you doing to help them be viable? Because everybody ain't smart enough to be a programmer. Everybody's not smart enough to fix a robot. Everybody's not smart enough to figure out how to communicate with large language models. What are you gonna do for the common man? Like, I just don't understand. He gonna be sitting at Mars, looking down from space, looking at the anarchy you know what I mean? Like, I just don't under we're sitting up here. What's up, Philly T? We sitting up here creating our own demise, and it's scary. It's scary. It's really, what's up, Tay Bay Forever? It is really scary, and I had to say that. Like, people need to work so they can eat, and they haven't even addressed that part. If you give the jobs to the robots, who gonna stimulate the economy? How are these companies gonna make their money? You're going to take away the economic engine that runs this world. What are y'all doing? Are y'all going? Like, I don't understand that. So only the select few are going to be able to walk around in this world, and they create some kind of disease to kill all the commoners off. I don't understand. I don't understand what the game plan is. What is the game plan? What is the game plan with this technology? I could understand the invention of a airplane. I could understand the invention of a car. I could understand the invention of a TV. But I don't understand why you doing this to replace the means by which humans support themselves. They said, "Oh, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever because humans are now gonna be able to work 3 days instead of 5." If that's the case, why the fuck they sitting up here calling us back into the fucking office 5 days a week? If that's the case, why y'all need to come back into the office for 5 days a week if technology is gonna replace us? I think that's a bunch of bullshit. And I already told y'all, humans were not made to be idle. We were made to be active, to keep our mind active, to achieve goals, not for AI to solve problems for us. Not because that takes away our intellectual stimulation. That's why they're saying this generation is so stupid right now. You ask any of them to tell time or to multiply, they're gonna be like, huh. What's up, Nesta? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh, child, I just had to say that. I just had to say that. Which girl? Stop lying to me. Which friend? You know, which the one that said you moderator of the year. That one. Yeah, it's still a hardship on a department. It is. I'm off for vacation, but I'm like, damn, y'all on vacation again? What's up, Sonia? And I mean, everybody need a vacation, but I'm just like, look, like, I don't know. I don't. You know. And I'm one of those people, when I'm on vacation, I'm still at work. You know what I mean? I'm still tied into the pipeline. You get what I'm saying? I'm still tied into the pipeline. But when you not there and you got so many repeated vacations coming up, yes, you earned them, but it's a new day. It's a hindrance, right? You know, but whatever, whatever. So people earn that. But all I want to say is, y'all old and new need to stop with the entitled mindset, because the days are over with that. What's up, comment 42? The days are over, and everybody need to get their ass a side hustle. Do something you enjoy. I don't know. But to have your life tied up in one job, knowing that shit can be snatched away, and in this day and age, and the job numbers came out, they said, "Ooh, they added more jobs." Bullshit. Yada 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 yada. I don't believe that. I think it's a two-pronged approach. Trump need the numbers to look good so he can, his approval rating will stay a certain way. Okay, if they came in bad, he would look bad, but the interest rates will go down. And either way, they printing money. It's a complicated thing. But just hold on to your jobs, please. Young and old, please hold on. And then this is the time to educate yourself. There are jobs out there. They're going to need humans to, they learn. Listen, it is so invasive for them, especially Google, to sit up there and summarize emails between me and somebody else that I didn't ask them to summarize, right? They sitting up there using that stuff to enhance. AI needs information. They need data in order to grow and to learn and to become self-sufficient. So I would encourage anybody to find a way to get on this AI train before it leaves the station. Okay? Yes, midterms are coming up. So that's why you're going to see a whole bunch of shenanigans. I'm telling you, they are not going to let this economy crash before the motherfucking midterms. I'm going to tell you that right now. So while things dip and dip, okay, they will be propped up. They will be propped up, especially before the midterms. Trust and believe. Okay? Trying to figure out, at the blink of an eye, my job was snatched away after being with the company for 17 years. I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you allowing yourself to be vulnerable to say that in a public space, because a lot of people won't say that. And that is the point I'm trying to stress. There is no loyalty here. You spent 17 years at a job. That's 17 years you woke up and you gave your blood, sweat, tears, and frustration to an employer who didn't give a damn. It was just snatched away in 17 years. They don't care no more. It used to be some sense of pride in that. Oh no. And that's most of the time, guess this part out. They using damn AI and algorithms to sit up there and determine who need to be fired. What? Algorithms and other information, instead of a human doing it, it's a whole damn robot doing it. I'm like, wow, unbelievable. What's up, Black Pearl? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Queen Diva, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, so that's what I want to just say, because, and it's crazy. You say at the blink of an eye. I mean, that's insane. So like I said, these these people who spend so much time at this company, I'm like, and the bravado that they have. Oh, they better not mess with me. They better not come at me. I spent 32 years, and I'm like, I'm just like, listen, I'm like, sorry, boo boo, but that don't matter. Corporate is looking at a spreadsheet. Corporate got to report to Wall Street. Corporate got to report how much they saved, how, or if anything, to eliminate the deficit that they may be encountering. What's up, Cap CCNTV? Y'all go to subscribe to Cap CNTV. Yeah, so that's yeah. So they took my job and gave it to a person and paid them 20K less than what I was making. You said everything that I'm trying to say. That these people who think they 30 years, 40 years in the game, they making a good ass salary, but they not knowing that they got a target on their back. It's don't let you make more than a supervisor. You are a prime candidate to get tossed. And you could be all indignant as much as you want to be, but the fact of reality is, when they go and look at that spreadsheet and they see that you're making what you're making, they going and it's sad, because you may be the hardest worker. You may be the hardest badass worker. They don't care. They don't care. It's about money. Because you never know what directives they are being given. And they're like, oh, we need to slash this budget by 50%. What's the fastest way? They're not gonna slash 5 people who ain't even making close to what you making. They're gonna get rid of you because you the easiest option right now. Ooh, just trying to figure out shit. I never took a vacation. Damn. Damn. That's crazy, y'all. Just trying to figure out, keep your head up, pray. That's why God is so important. I do believe prayer changes things. God will set things up for you when you least expect it in those kind of situations. Never took a day off, child. That's the epitome of a hard worker right there. But then again, what was not coming at you just trying to figure it out, just trying to figure out loyalty to the company was not rewarded. Was not rewarded. And I think that is the corporate mindset to keep us going back to the plantation. Oh, we reward you for 15 years. We give you a pen and da 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 and a shirt, and but it's there to keep other people entrapped too. So that's what I just wanted to say. Like I said, the universe put things on my heart, and I had to say that because I'm like, I could just imagine how them people gonna feel if they get shown the exit door. They're gonna be mad as hell. Cause you ain't go. Let me just be honest. I mean, maybe some people will, maybe some people won't. But you're not going to accept a reduction in salary, right? Most of the time, you're not, because your lifestyle is set up for the salary that you have. So, and the company is not going to set themselves up really legally for a reduction. That could be seen as, even though you sign paperwork, you can say, "Oh, I signed it under duress, and I need to say my." That would never work out for a company if they took a pay cut, unless they own a contract and sign to renew like they do in sports. But yeah, yeah. So I'm just telling y'all to wake up. So the only player boy says the challenge is that some of you are still in entry level roles without specialized skills. These positions tend to be more easily replaced. In contrast, those with advanced skills stay. So let me rebuttal that, and I agree with that, and that's why a lot of people in college, coming out of college, can't get no jobs. But let me rebuttal that to you. What about the white collar workers who are getting cut? Even though they have specialized skills, those specialized skills that they have are now being replaced with AI. So how do you rebuttal those situations? Because we got people making $200,000. $200,000. You definitely got to have a specialized skill for a $200,000 job. How do those people deal with being replaced by AI? Because nobody ain't giving you no $200,000 job if you don't have specialized skills. So I think what it is it's affecting everybody. To be honest, but I do appreciate your comment. The only player BOJI 2.2. So yeah, they wouldn't even give me a reference. Damn. It's all about numbers. Yeah, they don't give references because if you decide this is what I hear. They don't give references because if you decide to come back and sue them, you could use the reference that they gave you as a vindicate or a validation as to why you should have stayed employed. Right? It could backfire on them. So yeah, unfortunately. It's all about the numbers. That's all it is. Wall Street's all about numbers. So it's definitely all about numbers. But y'all, I gotta go. That's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Please find y'all multiple. Like this is the greatest age to be alive, but it's also the most scariest age to be alive. Um, they're trying to educate people to keep up with this advancement in technology. I honestly feel like they should be doing more to offer classes, right? And then on top of that, they want you to pay for the classes. Right. Like I think, like they say, college is the greatest scam. I'm all for people getting a college education. Do not get me wrong. But I think it's fucked up that you can sit up there and tell somebody to pay. College is about what, $60,000 a year now? Not, if you go to a mid-tier school, times four is $240,000. You invest that money, and there's no guarantee that you'll get a job, and there's no guarantee that they'll sit up there and keep you. You could be the best employee, but they'll cut you. That's wild to me. You asking me to go in debt for $240,000 for a non-guaranteed lotto ticket. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. What's up, Michi Black? How you doing? All right, I'm out of here, y'all. It's but Michi Black, I understand it's all about money. But at the end of the day, let's say you take all the money out of the world, right? We are still here and we still gotta survive. Why y'all need trillions of dollars? Yeah, okay, trying to figure out. I'll be back later. I would definitely be back later because I think we need to have this conversation. I really do. And what we need to do and how we can prepare. Because we're being distracted by social media, in all honesty. Now, there's a lot of great stuff on social media that you can learn quickly, but where do we go? How do we survive? And like I said, Michi Black, I'm not coming at you. I understand it's all about money, but how much money is too much money? Right? Where are we where we are a community and we give? Now I understand people, the rich are all scared that, oh, the poor people are going to come up and get access to stuff that we have. Okay, keep us at bay. Keep us at bay, but don't sit up here and take our legs out from under us and not allow us to be able to support ourselves. And I understand about money, but how much money is too much money? Because it seems to me they taking the money and ain't giving shit back. It ain't nothing to say, okay, y'all, we giving back to the community and we giving y'all a $1,200 check. You know, I never see corporations giving back. I see them cutting. If we do too much cutting, we all gonna be fighting against each other for a damn job, right? And like I was saying, okay, the world existed without money before. Yeah, we had to kill deer and all that and whatever animal you had to survive. So are we trying to go back to those days? I don't know. I don't know. Um I don't know. It's scary. People are losing their jobs. And that's the crazy thing is that Wall Street rewards those companies that cut labor. Ain't that fucked up? Wall Street rewards companies that cut labor because they see that as a reduction in costs. I really think that Wall Street should have a component of morality or a moral ethic factor when they do that stuff. Like, okay, is this going to be a detriment to society? What? Wall Street, if you sit up and say, "Oh, we cutting 10% of our workforce," their stock price go up, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's 10% of people who now not going to be able to don't have a job. So let me conclude this before I get repetitive. We'll come back later. I don't know what time later, but we'll come back later, and we'll have part two of the conversation, like the Detach put in the chat. But it's something that need to be talked about, right? Right. And to the person who put that about entry level jobs, they're also affected. I mean, unless you're some really off the chart computer scientist, you could have a top tier job. You could be a senior data analyst. Your job is at stake. Why? Because now they don't no longer need no senior data analyst. They got AI to compile and analyze information in a millisecond that will take you 48 hours to do. So that's what I gotta say. You say Robert says maybe people ought to consider enhancing their AI abilities, at least take a class or two. Now, I agree. Elon is on. What did Elon say? Elon said something. Oh, I don't even recommend people going into coding because the robots can code better than humans can. He said he recommends that they go into mathematics and sciences or physics like that. He even said there's no need for people to even study to be doctors. Why? Because the robots can sit up there and be more precise than a human. And if I'm a motherfucking insurance company, got to deal with malpractice suits, I'm investing in robots and not medical and not humans. Ain't that something? They rather go there and promoting robot doctors than, and he said this too, there will be no need for people to go to medical school because robots will be able to sit. And then on top of that, check this out. All the information that we putting in that they HIPAA and stuff, they go give that access to the robots so the robots can sit up there and figure out linkages between diseases and what this person may have compared to other similarities that where somebody in Florida may have the same similarities in California, and it will be instantaneous that they'll see that these people have the same similarities, so they should try the same diagnosis and treatment and stuff like that. Times are changing, y'all. So what is the $300,000 doctor gonna do? What is the $300,000 doctor gonna do? Right? Where he gonna go? He make his money from surgeries, not a robot doing the surgery. So what happens to his practice? Those are the things we got to think about. And you're right, Michi Black. Robots do surgeries, and I saw that. A couple of years ago when I went to a conference. They had the robot up there doing all that shit, going in there and all that, being precise and everything. Child, I don't know. But then again, what's going to happen is, I ain't wishing this. There's going to be a glitch or something somewhere that's going to fuck up somebody, and that's when we're going to go back to using humans. So, yeah. But I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for being an attentive audience. If y'all want to, feel free to send a gesture $ Sir King Crown. I will most likely come back later unless I have something that comes up and I can't control it. But we'll continue this discussion because this is the discussion we need to have. We need to start preparing and we need to start assessing what's going on, because the people at the top, they know what's going on. We don't, and they don't want us to know, right? They don't. Remember AMC? Remember GME? They were never going to, they let that happen unexpectedly, but they were never going to let all them people become rich. Nuh-uh. They want us to stay poor. And I never noticed that more. I'm like, damn, y'all don't want. And then I was like, you know what? They don't want us to be rich. That's too much competition. One asset that people have, dumb people have that are rich, is that they have money. They have money, and money talks. Money talks, and everything else walks. Okay. Robots are not meant to replace surgeons, but to strengthen their hands. Surgery requires judgment, responsibility, and real-time decision making, not algorithms alone. I agree, but that's not what Elon's saying. I was asked for a robot for my dad because the doctor didn't show up. I need to talk to some people in the medical field because, I did hear that robots are going around doing rounds now and stuff. Michi Black said, and I said no. The robots are doing rounds now. Going around checking on them, taking all kind of things. Like, this is crazy. But I gotta go, y'all. Y'all take care. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being open-minded to do so. Bye, y'all.